Hello, this is Michael Poulsen from Volbeat. You are watching GITP-TV.
We are here with Volbeat. Now that we got you down here in Helsinki, first, tell us something about Volbeat, because I think the people that are watching really don't know that much about the band.
Yeah, we've been touring for 2 years right now, hectical, but before that we were also touring, but the last 2 years have been pretty hectical, and we released 2 albums and we got our first gold record, which turned into platinum in Denmark, and been playing lots of big festivals, lots of big halls, but before that we were playing club shows and just getting the name bigger and bigger. And now we're here today in Finland for the first time to support Megadeth, and it's great. We are playing with these guys again 3 or 4 days later in Denmark as co-headliners. And I don't know what kind of music we play. For us, it's not a important thing to brand the band in some kind of special style. We just play music, but of course we got a very heavy sound, and we got some kind of rock and roll songs with lots of melodies. But it's just, I don't know, some kind of rock music, and I don't know what it is.
Okay, you pretty much summed all that I had lined up. But let's talk about the music thing. I understood that you wrote most of the music and lyrics as well.
Yep.
Basically, that's basically it. So, what influences do you guys bring to the band? He does all the music for the first, but of course there must be something that you can bring in on.
Yeah, of course, but that's more about the craftsmanship of being a musician. I think he's like the creative guy, and then he brings a song into the rehearsal room, and then we accept it or tear it apart, bring in some extra stuff maybe. I put on, right now we're writing a new album, put on some extra guitar layers, so you got a little wider sound spectrum of guitar, and then the drummer is pretty much into arranging stuff. We got a lot of discussions about breaks and all that stuff as well. So it's there's still a long way from the actual writing a song, writing lyrics, and then having like a totally composed song. Yeah. So that's what I'd like to say help with. Not that he's not good at it, but it's Michael is pretty good at the other part of writing, and then he kind of accept our inputs as well. So that hopefully turns it into some really good stuff.
Yeah, for me it's like the first album was more straightforward than the Rock the Rebel, Metal the Devil album. Was this like planned that the music goes that way, or did it just happen like that when you were on processing the tunes on the second album?
I actually think this, the 2 albums is pretty close to being the same thing. The thing is that on the second album, Rock the Rebel, we just had a more, perhaps a better sound. I think the songwriting was much stronger, but in general it's the same record. It's just, I think we improved with a lot of things on the second one. It was very old songs on the first one, and on the second we really somehow turned, we found our way to write better songs, better melodies, and better, chorus, hook lines and everything. But actually I think it's quite the same record.
Well, yeah, the way I feel it, it's like it's more groovy and all that stuff. So you mentioned that you're already processing with a new album. How is it coming out?
We're gonna record in the beginning of April, late March, and it will be released in I think the first week in September. And we use the same producers, same equipment, nothing new there. It's just Volbeat, doing what we do, and it's just we're not trying to change anything now that people see us as a mainstream act in Denmark, it's going to be the same sound, same producers, same way of writing songs and everything. So people can, they know what they're going to get.
Yeah, you mentioned already that you've been touring a lot, and yeah, point taken. Almost all of the bigger festivals in Central Europe, and even last year you got a spot to warm up for Metallica. Did you ever end up meeting with those guys?
Yeah, we were staying at our backstage area, and James Hetfield, before the show, before we even sound checked, he went down to our place, said, "Hey guys, I'm James. Thanks for playing with Metallica." And we had, especially Michael, had a talk of 20 minutes with him. And we did the photo session as well. Of course, you got to do that. If you ever meet James Hetfield in person, you got to do a photo session. So of course it was kind of like he knew that we were still fans and all that. So it was a thing that he did, but that was pretty cool. And then later on there was like an after party. Lars Ulrich had invited a lot of like families and friends who went to the show, and there was an after party for those guys, and I don't know, some of the crew maybe as well, and we were invited as well. We had a talk with him as well.